Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, especially middle grade lovers, and anyone else who has popped in because you're curious about what on earth this is, or you have got a little bit lost. Welcome everyone. I'm Chatty, this is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting away madly about the Middle Grade Madness Reading Challenge. This is a year-long challenge all about reading some particularly special middle grade books. So what makes these middle grade books so special is that these are all nominees for the Middle Grade Readers' Choice Awards, which is where I look at the most popular books according to Goodreads and Storygraph, and also your opinions, and we decide which one we're the most excited by and hyped about that have been published this year. We have got 3 years worth of book recommendations from this list. So we get really excited about these books at the end of the year when we are looking at them, trying to choose which ones we're the most excited about, when so many of the titles sound fantastic. So someone within the Discord had a wonderful idea of, wouldn't it be great to just try and read as many of the books as possible and have a sort of a bit of a challenge. So I took this idea and went for it. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what the Middle Grade Madness Challenge is. I am going to be talking to you about what the books are that qualify for this. I am also going to go through some maps and some prompts to make it even more exciting should you want to go down that road. You do not have to. And then I'm going to be giving you some information about where we are on Storygraph, on Discord, how to access the graphics. There is a Google Doc. There is also going to be an audio only video as well. So if you struggle with the visuals, then there is that option for you too. Firstly, I have to say a huge thank you to 4 people. These are my friends in Discord Middle Grade Mad Chat. So first thanks has to go for Stacey, because it was Stacey's idea. I will put everyone that I thank and everyone I mention's links in the description box. Stacey was the one who was like, I really want to read more middle grade, so I am going to have a little look at the books that have made it onto the nominees. And she wanted to try and read as much of those as possible. And I got very excited and thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a proper challenge over the whole year, trying to see how many of these books we can read. And so Middle Grade Madness Challenge was born. The other 3 people I want to thank are people that have always got really excited about the Middle Grade Readers' Choice Awards, really wanting to talk about middle grade books, really wanting to promote middle grade books, talking about their favourite ones, and we've had a wonderful time in the past year reading the top 5 books from 2024. So I want to give a big thank you to Tiffany from Towering TBR. Tiffany, as well as reading middle grade, also reads a whole host of other books, and she has got really insightful and thoughtful videos looking at what she's wrapped up, and she's also amazing with audiobook recommendations, so do go and check her out. Lucia is fantastic at promoting really positive, happy, whimsical, joyful middle grade books, and some of these have become my favourite books that we have read. And finally this year I also want to thank Kate, who has joined in with a lot of chat, has been really excited for this challenge, and is our Skandar promoter. We are also going to be doing a Skandar read-along through Discord, so if you want to read by A.F. Steadman the Skandar fantasy series and hear what all the hype is, do come and join us for that. I will be doing more of an announcement later on, but you can come and join us in the Discord and have a chat. Kate wants to reread again with us, having already finished it off. She has got an amazing selection of books and it seems to be a bit of a reading machine. But I really want to thank Kate for all of her positive responses as well in the Discord to this project. Okay, so what is the project? It can be as complicated or as simple as you want to make it. It can be as simple as looking at just the shortlists, just 1 year, and choosing one book that was one of the Middle Grade Readers' Choice Award nominees and doing it. And then you've taken part. You have done the Middle Grade Madness Challenge. So the Middle Grade Readers' Choice Awards started in 2023. I have got a whole playlist that I will link below in the description box for you to have a look at should you want to check out in more detail some of the videos on it. but essentially Goodreads got rid of its middle grade category in the Goodreads Choice Awards. And myself and quite a few people were quite annoyed by this. We want to promote middle grade books. We want middle grade books to get more love and more attention, because there are some absolutely amazing stories, and they're not just for children. Adults can get a huge amount of enjoyment from reading them as well. So we thought, well, why don't we try and work out what would be the most popular middle grade book? So by looking at Goodreads and by looking at Storygraph, how many people have read or wanted to read a book and what the rating of it was, I developed a system to kind of come up with a consideration list. And I continued with that in 2024 and in 2025. So the books go through a consideration list. These are the ones that people have been thinking about. I then have an automatic top 5 that got the highest ratings overall from the system I have, and they go through automatically onto the long list. We then have hidden gems, where everyone comes up with books that were published that year that they are really excited about, that they think are brilliant, but maybe haven't got the ratings or the reviews to the scale of the other ones, and they get put forward to the vote. So the top 5 hidden gems, the top 10 consideration books all make it into the long list with the automatic 5 books. And then that list is cut in half to make the shortlist, and then from the shortlist we come up with our winner.
I'm a very visual person, and I love being able to kind of like see all my thoughts clearly. So I have made some graphics so you can see the books at a glance. I have got the shortlist where I have got all the books for the years. They're color coded. So 2023 is orange, 2024 is purple, and 2025 is blue. And you can clearly see all the books that made it to the shortlist for those years. So if you really want to see the popular books of the popular books, then this is possibly going to be the list you want to focus on. I have also done it so you can see every single nominee. So if you're someone that really wants to do a deep dive, that wants to see the books that maybe didn't get the love, and you'll find something that's really going to speak to you on those, especially if you're someone that enjoys a variety of genres, because the shortlists do tend to be more fantasy based. I think that's very much the voters' preference, as you can see. So for the 2023 list, I have organised it, so hopefully it's nice and clear. In 2023, I was still working out exactly how I wanted to pull all this information together, so it's slightly different to the other ones. We only had 5 hidden gems, and they were input kind of later on in the process. So I have the shortlist on the left, so you can clearly see all the books, and I have put the top 5 in their order of votes. I have then highlighted which were the books that made it onto the long list, and which 2 hidden gems that didn't make it onto the shortlist. I've highlighted those as well. And then you can also see the books that were part of the consideration list that didn't make it onto the eventual long list. In 2024, I developed a much better system at this point, and a much better voting system. So I have clearly on the right side the books that all made it onto the long list, the books that didn't make it onto the long list that were consideration books, and the books that didn't make it onto the long list that were hidden gem books. So you can have a look at the graphic and see much more easily which books are going to speak to you, which books you want to focus on. In 2025, it's very similar to 2024 with the hidden gems list, consideration list, and long list books. And then on the left, you have the short list with the top 5 highlighted. So you can access all of these on the Google Docs. You can also access them from the Discord, and I have also put them on my community post as well.
So like I've mentioned, talking about graphics, I'm a very visual person. I love seeing things laid out in a pictorial fashion, but I am aware that not everyone does everything that way. So I have also, for those who are visually impaired, or for those who just like to hear audio, I have got an audio only video where I will be talking through all the prompts, and also a more interactive way of doing it should you wish to, and talking through every single book and explaining which particular categories this will be hitting. So you might want to set a specific number of books that you want to try and hit by the end of the year. You might want to choose specific titles and really like hone in on which one's according to you the most. Or you might just want to go, let's see how many I can read and see what the number is at the end of the year. You might not want a limit on it. You might just want to, at your own pace, work through a set amount of books, or work through, I want to read all the books on the 2023 shortlist because those are the ones that look the most interesting to me. However you want to do it, you do it. You do it your way. If you're someone that enjoys a map, an adventure, and fitting books to prompts, then I have got some prompts and maps and journeys that we can all do together should you want that kind of level of interaction and fun with it as well. The prompts that I have tried to go for ones that are quite flexible. A lot of people are really focusing on trying to make their reading stress-free. I think some people kind of hit a point where they've been focusing on numbers and certain things, and they're now like, actually, I just need to calm things down and just enjoy and focus on the joy and less on the goal hitting. So I've tried to make it flexible so it fits in with everyone and everyone's reading preferences. I also know there is a lot of people that are still very excited to set themselves goals, to set themselves challenges and enjoy all of that stuff. You can really work with it and make it so it's going to support you. And I have been mindful that if I've got any visual prompts, I also have non-visual ones at the same time so that you don't feel that you are limited by that. So the two maps are the Traveller's Trail, which is based in a more of a forest setting. There are 5 prompts on this map, and you can journey along through the 5 prompts to get to the final one, and these prompts tend to be a lot more kind of open-ended. The second map I have is called the Pyramid Peril, and this is where you are trying to escape. You're inside the middle of a pyramid and you are trying to escape and get to the exit. Every time you come across a particular problem, you should be able to do the prompt, read the book, and then that lets you go through to the next part of your journey. This has got some chance-based prompts, some open-ended prompts, and some more challenging ones, which might be a bit more limited in your choice. This has 12 prompts in total, but you do not have to read 12 books. There is a variety of paths and exits in this pyramid. You can escape the pyramid without hitting all 12 prompts. You can escape the pyramid by just reading 1 book. If you want to, you can keep going around and hit all 12 prompts. There are also 4 portal spaces in the pyramid. So you can take a portal to the Traveller's Trail, do the Traveller's Trail, and then come back at a different point in the pyramid and carry on escaping from the pyramid. I have got a list of alternative prompts, so if you want to swap any prompts for ones that are going to fit you better, you absolutely can do that. If you want to go around the pyramid twice and then change the prompts out and do it again, you can absolutely do that. You can just swap out one prompt that doesn't work for you. It's totally up to you. If you want to swap the prompts in the Traveller's Trail or in the Pyramid Peril for just book titles, so you could link a book title to every point you come to and do it that way, that's brilliant. If you want to just write your own prompts that fit what you want to read, do that. I just want everyone to have fun with this and enjoy themselves and to get excited about reading the books from the Middlegrade Readers' Choice Awards. So the 5 prompts for the Traveller's Trail. The Traveller's Trail, like I said, takes place through a forest, and as you progress on your journey, you read a book to get to the next place. So to start our journey, we're going to start at the popular path. So as its name suggests, we want to read the most popular book. So here I want you to read a book that was on a shortlist. It can be any of the years 23, 24 or 25. The next prompt you come to is the Slippery Stones. Here I want you to read a book that is more of a challenge. The third prompt on your journey is the Quarry Quest. As you expect in a quarry, might be a bit of mining and digging, so I want you to read a book that entered the Middlegrade Readers' Choice Awards as a hidden gem. Some of these are easy to find. There is a section in the graphics where I've highlighted what the hidden gems are, but some hidden gems made their way onto the long list and some even made their way onto the short list. All of those are acceptable. The fourth prompt is the Sandy Sinkhole. So here I want you to read a book that just missed out on the shortlist. So this could be a book that didn't make it through from the long list to the short list. It could be a book that didn't make it through from the consideration list onto the long list, and it could be a hidden gem that didn't make its way through onto the long list either. Just as long as it's not on the short list, you can read it. And finally, you reach the end of your journey with just one more book to go, and it is Reader's Rest. So here it's all very nice and cozy. So I want you to read any book that you can't wait to pick up, because isn't that just the best thing about reading? In Pyramid Peril, you are trying to escape from the pyramid, and you start in the centre of the map.
Pyramid Peril is a maze. There are 3 different paths you can choose from the centre, and you can wander around, and if you come to a prompt where you're like, oh no, that is too much for you, I'm not doing that, just go back, choose a different path and carry on your journey. Depending which way you go, you will have different options to take. So I'm just going to talk through the prompts so that you know what all of them mean, and then you can do the journey however you want to. There are 3 exits, and they are all spread out around the edge of the pyramid. And if you want to keep going, you can always go walk around the pyramid and go in and exit and carry on going. There are also 4 portals on the map, and you can hit a portal and then pop out at any of the other portals as well. So let's have fun exploring.
So with quite a few of these prompts, I compare a book you are going to be choosing, so which will be the book you read for middle grade Madness Challenge, Pyramid Peril, to the book you last read. Now this could either be literally the last book you read. Like maybe another part of your goals for this year is reading classics, so it could be a classic. Or maybe you're reading an epic fantasy, or maybe you read a picture book to your child at bedtime last night, or in a school class or something. That could be it. Or you could choose it to be one that you've recently read this month. It doesn't need to be exactly the last book you read, but a previous book. Or if you're really trying to be quite just focused in on the challenge, this could be the last book you read for this challenge. And if it's the first book you're reading for this challenge, then it could be if you've previously read any of the books on the Middle Grade Madness Challenge, you could use the last one you read that counts towards the Middle Grade Madness Challenge. But basically, like, a book you have previously read, compare it to that, is essentially where I'm going with this. Right, let's actually do the prompts now. So, have you got your backpack ready? Have you got a torch? Have you got your water flask? Are you ready to escape this pyramid? Excellent, let's begin. So the first prompt we have is creepy cobwebs. You can't move because you're covered. There's huge cobwebs hanging from there. There's possibly spiders on them. Who knows? But to get through this, you just need to read a book that has been on your mental TBR for over a year. So this is any book where you've kind of been quite interested in it when you've heard about it, and you felt, yeah, that sounds really interesting. And you haven't got round to it, but it's just been there kind of at the back of your mind. It doesn't need to be a whole year, just kind of what feels like a decently amount of time for you. So you might be someone going, well, actually, that means I kind of want to look towards the 2023 list of books. But you could equally go, okay, there has been books on the 25 list that I've been thinking about at the beginning of the year that I was excited about them coming out. So either way, that will count. You continue on your journey, but the next obstacle you come across is a giant bird blocking your way. This is Bennu block. Bennu is Egyptian deity of creation, rebirth, and the sun. So for Bennu to move out of your way, then you just have to read a book with more than one O in the title, or a book with a circle on the cover. I have a little demo here. So these books are not part of the Middle Grade Readers' Choice Awards, but they are middle grade books. We could have The Secret of Nightingale Wood, because wood has 2 O's in it. Or you could have Onyeka and the Heroes of Dawn, because we have the O for Onyeka, an O for Heroes, and an O for Of. Or if we're looking for circles on the cover, Evelyn Jones, The Haunting of Evelyn Jones, we've got a circle in the shape of the torch. Once We Are Witches, we have this kind of glowing circle around the 2 girls on the front cover there. On Onyeka again, we have on her uniform, she's got a circle of this glowing sun. So either one of anything like that will work. And continuing on your journey, you then come across a well. This well is so deep, it goes from one side of the wall to the other. There has to be a way that you can get across this hole where there is water waiting for you at the bottom. To get across, then all you need to do is read a book with water on the cover. Or an alternative for this is water's a little bit choppy, a bit wavy. I'd like to read a book that has an odd number of chapters. You keep walking through the tunnels in this pyramid and then halt! Hieroglyphics. You can't move because there is a big wall full of hieroglyphics on there. So to solve this wall, to work out which stones you need to press to make the wall move so you can carry on your journey, then you need to read a book where the author of this book is from a different country to the author of your last book. If this information is kind of hard to find, you can just read a book that is set in a different country to the book that you have previously read. And this can include like dual nationality authors or authors with a different heritage. And then straight in front of your path, you have to stop because we have a coiled cobra. To get safely past the cobra, then you need to do a random book picking. So either a pet pick, because like the cobra, it's an animal, or if you don't have a pet, then you can just get other humans to decide for you what you should read and do a poll pick. So you can either ask members of your family, you could use the poll space on the Middlegrade Mad Chat Discord, you could do your own polls in your own spaces, just get someone else to choose through some options what book you should read. So to get to the next part of the pyramid, it actually goes uphill now. You have to go up. And there's some rope ladders in front of you, which is very handy. You can now go up. But fortunately, they're rotten ropes. So to safely navigate the fraying, rotten boards, the difficulties, and then you have to just read a book with less pages than the last book you read. And then blocking your path, we have a sphinx. You know what sphinxes do? They love a riddle. So to solve this riddle, then you just need to read a book that fits the following prompt. This is one of my favourite prompts because it's a little bit awkward. So for this one, because obviously it's a Sphinx riddle, it needs to be a bit more complicated. I would like you to read a book written by an author whose first name starts with the last letter from your last book title. So here I have The Haunting of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks. And so the final word is Jones and the final letter is an S. So then we want to find a middle grade author who begins with F. So for example, I have Once We Were Witches by Sarah Driver. So Sarah begins with an S. So that's the kind of thing. Your other option for this is to read a book with a name in the title. So this doesn't have to be like a specific person's name, but this can be sort of like indicating there's a person. So it could be princess or teacher or boy. So that indicates there's a person in the title. So again, neither of these books are part of the Middle Grade Readers' Choice Awards and part of the Middle Grade Madness Challenge, but they're just an example. So here I have Snow Girl. So girl would be indicating person in the title by Sophie Anderson. Or you could have an actual name in the title. So here I've got the Lizzie and Belle Mysteries, Portraits and Poison. So we have Lizzie and Belle, two people's names in the title. And now scarily, you come through and discover that you are in Anubis' chamber. Anubis is the ancient Egyptian god of death, mummification, and the afterlife. To safely navigate your way through Anubis' chamber, for Anubis to let you pass through, I want you to read a book that deals with heavy topics. Quite a lot of the books in the Middle Grade Readers' Choice Awards deal with quite a few of these. So hopefully you can find one that is going to work for you. So carry on your journey, and oh no, there is a giant sarcophagus blocking the way. It could be more than one, I don't know. This is your pyramid, your adventure. but there is a sarcophagus. They're really heavy. You cannot get past them. So in order to get past the sarcophagus, I thought it might be quite nice if you just buy yourself a new book and read that. So if there's one of the Middle Grade Madness challenge books that you're excited about but you don't own and you'd quite like to, take this as an opportunity to treat yourself or yourself. Both get treated. But if you are trying not to buy any more books, your shelves are creaking, there is no space for them, you're trying to save money for other things, that is fine. To kind of have the idea of the opening, getting something exciting and shiny, I thought we could do a TBR jar. You can just put some book titles into a pot or a jar and pick out one of them, and then that's the book you read. And you're not far now, you can feel the journey is nearly at the end. Standing in your way, we have some sliding slabs. These are on lava and they are moving backwards and forwards. So you're going to have to navigate. The floor is lava, you're going to have to get from slab to safely exit. So in order to do this safely, then you need to read a book that is from a series. So the whole series does not need to be on there, but as long as the book that you're reading is part of a series, then this counts. And then you come across a puzzle set for you by an ancient pharaoh. This could be his ghost kind of entering and demanding that you do this puzzle in order to proceed on your journey. Or this could be something done with gears. I'll let you decide. This is your pyramid. So for this, we have either a cover colour match or we have a caps word. So for the cover colour match, I want you to read a book where the last book you read had a small bit of colour. And then this is the main colour of the book you're choosing now's book. For an example, so say it's yellow. So I'm going to show you two books again, not part of Middle Grade Madness Challenge. I have Show Us Who You Are by Elle McNichol. So on this book, we have little pops of yellow. So we've got it sort of in the explosion kind of colours coming from the cover. Also the title and the author is yellow. And then we have small bits of yellow in the hair clips, and this, I think it's a little sticky note, and the zip of the bag. So we've got tiny bits of yellow kind of coming through in this book cover. So then I would need to read a book that's main colour was yellow. So here I have The Insiders by Mark Oshiro, and as you can see on the front cover, it is mainly yellow. If that is not something that you can do, I do have an alternative for this one, which I think is just as fun, which is a caps word. So this is, I did have to look up what caps words meant because I was trying to find how you do all the little joining words all together. So did a little bit of learning myself here. So this is connectors, which can be and or or articles, which is a, the, or prepositions. That is right, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't sound right when I'm saying it. Prepositions, or prepositions such as in, out, of, that kind of thing. So I'd like you to read a book that matches a cap word. So again, two books, not part of Middle Grade Madness Challenge. I have The Secret of Nightingale Wood by Lucy Strange. Originally when I was looking at it, I was just going for of as the cap word, but I realised it actually has two. So I would then match, and then my next read could be Onyeka and the Heroes of Dawn. So we have of and of. But I realised, sorry, of the Dawn. Onyeka also has the as well. So we have The Secret of Nightingale Wood, and we have Onyeka and the Heroes of the Dawn. So by Tola Okaguru. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So yeah, so this one I would have matched both the caps words, which is awesome, but I'm only asking for one matching caps word. If that is really causing a lot of kind of chaos and difficulty for you, as long as it's got a caps word in the title, that is absolutely fine. So for example, I have one here, again, not part of the Middle Grade Madness Challenge.
And this is an example of a book that wouldn't work because it has no caps word.
This is Evie's Ghost by Helen Peters. And Evie's Ghost has no caps word because both Evie and Ghost are nouns. And the final prompt that I'm giving you in Pyramid Peril, when you come to the labyrinth lair, there is a cave in front of you, and you have got to pass through this cave in order to get to the next bit. I know, a cave and a pyramid, isn't it crazy? But I thought it would just be fun. So all you have to do to get safely through the labyrinth layer is to read a book that you have borrowed from the library. And there you go, you have read all the prompts you needed to, and you have managed to get through, and you have escaped out of one of the 3 exits. Well done. As you are going around this pyramid, as I briefly mentioned before, you will come across 4 portals. They look like this. So these portals have the power to transport you out of the pyramid. That does not complete the challenge. Transport you out of the pyramid and throw you onto the Traveller's Trail. So you can then complete the Traveller's Trail, and then you can be thrown back into the pyramid. But you don't have to come back at the same spot. You can come back at a completely different spot in the pyramid, depending how you want to work your journey. Or you could do the Traveller's Trail first, and then after you finish that, end up in the pyramid. Or you could escape the pyramid and do the Traveller's Trail. It's entirely up to you. I just wanted to allow you to do as many prompts as you wanted to, in a way that suits you best. And if none of those prompts work for you, or you want to sort them out with something else, I have made some alternative prompts that you can do that with. You could read an audiobook. You could read an ebook. You could ask for a recommendation from a friend or family member. You could do a coin toss between 2 books. You could read a different genre to the last book that you read. You could read a book that has a vertical title on the spine. So behind me, you can see it's YA rather than middle grade, but you can see Angie Thomas's Thug. That's got The Hate You Give. It's got Thug as a vertical title. That would count down the spine. You could start a new series. So reading one of the Middle Grade Madness Challenge books that is the first book in a series. Read a standalone book. Read from a new to you author. Put your books into a random number generator and pick one that way. Read a book that you think is going to be a 5-star prediction. Or you could do the birth month code. So if you were born January, May or September, I want you to read a book that ends in the page number 2 or has summer vibes from the synopsis or the cover. If you were born in February, June or October, read a book that ends in a page number 3 or has spring vibes from the synopsis or from the cover. If you're born in March, July or November, read a book that ends in a page number 4 or via the cover or the synopsis gives you winter vibes. If you were born in April, August or December, read a book that ends in the page number 5 or has autumnal vibes on the cover or through the synopsis. So I am going to put all of these graphics in a Google Drive.
And thank you to Kate for making some graphics so you can show what books you've read for each of the different prompts, both in Traveller's Trail and in Pyramid Peril. These are in the Google Doc and in Discord.
And there will be a document written down. So if you're someone that uses a sort of a text-to-speech device so you can hear what the books are, that will be available for you as well, along with all the other information. In the Middle Grade Mad Chat Discord, I have got a whole category which is all about the Middle Grade Madness Challenge. So in that, I post announcements when I've got more information about it. There is a Q&A section, so if you want to ask me any questions, you can do. I have also got 2 sections devoted to the lists of books and logging your book's graphics, and one devoted to the prompts and the maps. There is also one where you can talk about how you're doing, like showing how many of the books you're ticking through, what your reading goals are, kind of logging all of that, and just general chat about which books you're reading and how you found them. So there's a way of kind of getting involved in the community that way, and I'm aware Discord isn't for everyone. So I also have a Storygraph challenge as well. There is a Shortlist challenge, so this is just the 31 books that are all from the Shortlist, and you can work your way through those. At the moment, I have put the end goal as the final day of this year, which is the 31st of December 2026. But I don't know if you can change it as you go along, but if you can't, then I will just redo the challenge for the following year so you can continue to work through it at your pace. I will also do a 2023 books list on Storygraph, a 2024 one, and a 2025 one. There will also be prompts on Storygraph as well. So there will be a 5 prompt challenge, which is the smaller one, a 12 prompt challenge, which is the larger one, and I will do a combination if you just want to do all of them. You are also welcome to do your own challenge on Storygraph to kind of match how you're wanting to do it. Let me know if you're doing that, and feel free to use all the handles. That would be amazing. So there we go. Hopefully now you have a much better idea over what the Middle Grade Madness Challenge is. I would love as many people as possible to take part in this because it is so fun and because these middle grade books are amazing. There isn't a book on this list that I feel I would have a bad time with. There's definitely ones that I feel are more in keeping with my reading taste and ones that I feel are going to challenge me, but I think I'm really going to love them. And I'm so excited to get to them. I don't know how many I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be going through my personal journey and all of my thoughts on this with you when I do my setting up of this reading challenge. So I will have a video coming out soon where I go through which books I have already read, what books I hope to get to, how I plan to do it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing all of that with you. Please do share, if you are taking part in this, share your reading journeys with me. Do link me in. If you are a bookish content creator, I would love to see what you're doing. If not, please chat to me in the comments. I'd love to hear your journey, or come and join us on the Discord and chat. So that is everything I wanted to cover. I hope it all makes sense. Essentially, read these books and have fun in whatever form that takes for you. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a look in the description box, click the links. And most importantly, pick up some of these books and enjoy some amazing stories. Happy reading, everyone.